Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of the Fanzone podcast. We're looking forward to this one. Elias Kachunga will be on the way very, very shortly, and we are all looking forward to it. If you are too, get your comments in the comment section, and we'll pick some out to ask him as we go through. He'll be joining us shortly.
By comments, it means questions, I think. Or you can just say anything you want and just throw it at him and see what happens.
Absolutely. We'll pick some out and we'll read them. He will be joining us very shortly. In David Wheater fashion, we've had some technical difficulties, and he'll be joining us pretty sharpish, we are assured.
Guest pods are the best.
Yeah, especially professional footballers as well.
Yeah. Let us know how you're all feeling. Catcher's not bold. He's not had an haircut. That's just Chris. Good old Chris.
Yeah. Took his toll on him when he left Bolton.
But yeah, let us know how you're all feeling, and let us know how you're feeling about the new signings. Obviously, we've had a few through the door now, in the form of 2 goalkeepers and a new right wing back from Tranmere. Let us know whether you're looking forward to them getting started with us, what you make of the signings so far, and how you're feeling about the season. Obviously, fixture release is tomorrow. It's exciting times.
What do you go for? What do you look for first? First game of the season, Boxing Day, birthday.
And last game.
Last game.
Yeah. Who are you looking forward to playing? Who do you want on what days? Let us know. Chris, how are you feeling about the upcoming season?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think the next week is going to be important in terms of more new personnel. Sorry, my chair's gone. More new personnel coming through the door because we're still a bit thin on the ground. Sorry, I'm still adjusting my chair. But no, off the back of that,
trying to make himself look tall.
It just doesn't work. There's no care on the market that will help me in that respect, I'm afraid. I'm looking forward to it. I miss it badly. Obviously, weekends are not the same, so can't wait to get cracking again. Even looking forward to friendlies and stuff, international teams and that, European teams.
And how are you feeling
about the new season?
Yeah, what are you looking forward to?
Sorry, Ange, before you answer that, just tell the people who are joining, because I'm watching this live and people just joining. We're just not chatting about stuff. We're just waiting for Catcher.
Yes, he's on his way.
Yeah, for absolute transparency, he's got a Mac, and you have to, in order to use the streaming platform, you have to have Chrome. You can't use Safari, which is the default browser, and so he's downloading it. Hey, we're all about transparency here, people. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the one.
We're human, aren't we?
Yeah. So I am aware. I'm 40 in August, so my mum's booked me a spa for the first weekend of the season. So, I mean, Janet, I love you to death, but
seriously.
Blackpool away first game of the season.
It's going to be a good away, or it's going to be a massive home. I'm dreading knowing what it is. It needs to be I don't know, Port Vale or something. It just
Port Vale away in that sweat box like last season.
That was grim. That was grim. Where we were sat, there was actually a bird's nest above us. Yeah, a bird's nest.
For those of you who have just joined us and are wondering why Catcher isn't here yet, he's going to be with us shortly. Just a few technical difficulties, but he'll be on his way as soon as he can.
He's not been lying to you, by the way, guys.
No, we're not. He is coming, we promise.
Yeah. It's not a ruse. It's not a ruse to get you all here.
But thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. There's 35 of you, according to my screen of you in the chat at the minute. So thank you all. We do appreciate it. Each and every one of you who is tuning in and taking the time out of your Wednesday evening to join us it's much appreciated. If you haven't already, you can check us out on Spotify. So if you want to catch up on any old episodes that you might have missed, there's a David Wheater special on there, Marcus Harrison, and of course the podcast After Wembley. Some good watches for you. The launch of our new website is also live, so www.fanzonepod.co.uk. You can find us over there, and you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the larks. There's no escaping us. We are everywhere.
We're getting bantered on Twitter here already. Or I am at
Oh,
least.
really? What's going on? Come on.
Yeah. Some people are saying it's just bloody clickbait because yeah, it was my idea that you won this shot to learn. I'm just having a laugh with you all. It's not really coming. Nah, I'm joking, obviously.
No,
We just back in the chat.
Miss you all so much, you see. We thought, you know what?
Nothing
Let's get them all
better.
back for a laugh.
Absolutely. So yeah, like I said, you can catch us all over. Catch us all over. Did you get that one?
See what you did there?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we're out and about. Things are moving. Another announcement that I think is only right to tell you. Whilst we just wait for Catcher, who'll be here shortly. The podcast has just announced some new sponsors. So slowly over the coming days, you'll see more about that. If you haven't already seen though, we are delighted to announce that we are now sponsored by Eco One Windows, and right on time, we are joined here by Catcher, of course. So we will get him in.
Oh, there we
Good
go.
evening.
Good evening. Good. Yourself?
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm great, thanks. It's a pleasure to have you here. We really do appreciate you taking some time out to come and chat with us. So those of you who are watching along at home, get your comments on and we'll pick some out. But without further ado, we'll kick things off. We'll start things off. We have to ask, because we've all been asking it all day. Is it Elias or Elias?
No, it's Elias normally.
Elias.
Elias. Yeah.
There we go. You learn something new every day.
It's probably a bit too late now, Elias, that you're leaving us as well, and then we've eventually got your name right.
Yeah, true. But anyway, everyone just called me Katja or Katja, so.
Oh, what a relief.
We'll go with Katja.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with.
That's fine.
So we'll kick things off. Our first question, we ask it to every guest that comes on, and it's an all-important question. So imagine you're waking up and you're fancying perhaps a full English or a pre-match breakfast. What's on your plate? What's the lineup looking like?
For my full English or my pre-match?
We'll go with a full English. We'll
full
keep
English.
it in
Scrambled eggs.
Nice.
Beans, obviously toast. And then I like the crispy not sausage, bacon. Yeah, I don't like the thick one, so for me the thin one is okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's a good English breakfast for me.
You'll be able to have them very often though, will you, Catcher? Because obviously
No, I eat it now a few times as well at home because my fiance is English, so she provides me with the proper English kitchen.
Good breakfast. Yeah,
Absolutely. A hearty breakfast to kick things off. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
It's a solid lineup. In all fairness, we've had some pretty romances on here. But yeah, we'll kick things off. Chris, do you wanna lead the way?
I'd love to. Yeah. So welcome, Catcher. Thanks for coming along. So first of all, I wanted to touch on your sort of international career. Obviously, you came up through the ranks in Germany with the under-17s and then the under-21s. And then obviously you transitioned and switched to DR Congo. Was that a difficult decision and transition to make from the German ranks to DR Congo? You made your debut in 2017 against Kenya, I believe. Was it difficult to change from Germany to DR Congo?
It wasn't too difficult, to be fair. Obviously, I enjoyed my time in Germany. Going there to the ranks, to the national teams, like you said, played from the under-15s, under-16s, all the youth teams to the under-21s. So this was a really good experience. Obviously, Germany is a big country, and everyone knows how the youth system, how good it is there. So this was really good. But then I was on the point where, obviously you're thinking about, can you make the next step as well, like to the first team? To that time, I saw it a little bit difficult for me. And yeah, the national team from Congo came to my dad and asked me, if I could think about it to play for them. And obviously, I have still family over there, so for me, more or less was a no-brainer. I wanted to give something back as well, like to this side of my family, because they've been supporting me as well my whole career, and I've been there as well a few times. And just like as well, like to give the people there something back. I was getting so many messages from people over there that I should join them and push their national team. To that time, it was still, how should I say it, a bit like, not, I wouldn't say like professional, but I knew it a little bit different. When you play in Germany or in Europe. So, but yeah, it was a good experience when I went there with my dad. So he was helping me as well with the language a little bit because I don't speak the language. So I could understand a little bit when I was younger, but I couldn't speak it. So he was helping me. But there was as well like a lot of players who played in England, Yannick Bolasie or Kebano, who is still playing at Fulham. So there been like players that speaking English as well. And it was funny as well that the manager to this time spoke as well a bit German. So so you could speak like not like a fully conversation, but you could speak like some words. So, but he could speak English as well. So no, it was a really good experience to see everything there as well, like to go to the country of my dad and represent them. So it was a really good time.
An honor indeed. Yeah,
really big honor.
When you were coming through the German ranks, just for a bit of perspective, during that time, who were you competing with in your position within the German team?
Oh, that's a good question. Obviously, I think from the national team himself, I think there was not that many strikers who actually did it then to the first. I think like Füllkrug, who is now went to the first team a bit later. Obviously, he didn't do it that early. So he was there, and then I think Lasogga was there. He was a bit older than me, but he was like around my age as well, like to go to the first team. So there've been like a few names, but obviously there've been as well like the older players still there, like Klose and stuff like this. So it was like a bit obviously competition. So and I just thought like they came to me and asked me to play for them in Congo, and I thought like it's the right step for me. I want to experience as well something new. So was happy with my decision.
You'd have had Podolski. He's a bit older than you, though. He'd been playing in your position as well.
Yeah, probably he was there as well. So there've been like a few names, and to this time Germany obviously was a really strong team. And so I thought
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
If Congo were playing Germany, who obviously we know is going to win that game, who would you want to win?
Oh, it's a hard question. I think I would be neutral this day.
You can't. Come on.
Just have to enjoy it. Obviously, I think I would be nice to see Congo win the game. I think this would
we'd be rooting for Congo.
Help the whole country as well, like to get a good push. And obviously it's now as well. I think they have a good run right now, being really close to qualify for the AFCON. So I think over the years, especially like with players like me and as well then other players who played in Europe and had like 2 countries to choose and then choose Congo, I think this helped as well like a lot of players right now to say, okay, I play for the African team help these countries.
Just make it a bit more competitive, I would imagine, wouldn't it? For obviously,
100%, because obviously there's a lot of players who know playing like as well like for big countries, like even if it's England, France, and all this stuff, and they make them as well really strong. But I can understand obviously if you can play like for a country like England or France and you grow up the whole time in this country, then I think you should play as well for this country. But obviously if you have a second choice and you have as well like a strong bondage with this country or strong connection, then it's as well good to play for it.
course.
So obviously you spent most of your younger years learning your trade in Germany. When you made that transition to English football, what did you notice were the main differences? And then obviously with Dapo doing the reverse, do you think he'll fit in well with that? How do you think he'll get on?
Obviously, first of all, for me, the language is something different, obviously. So I didn't spoke really well English, so I came and I could understand most of the things, but speaking wise, it was like,
Is it accents more than anything? It's hard to. Some of us have got quite strong accents.
yeah, that's true, but it wasn't like, to be fair, when I came over, then I just realized how many different accents there are in England. Obviously, when I was before, like in Germany, I thought, okay, English, everyone's just speaking the same, but then I came over and then I hear like, okay, this guy is speaking like this, you know, like, so this was at the beginning obviously a bit difficult, but I think like just in general, like to speak everyday English, you have as well like different, like football wise, like different words what you use on the pitch. So this was as well something new to learn, and then just like to communicate with the boys and everyone around you. So this took me a little bit to get into it because I didn't use a teacher as well. So I think I had one lesson with a teacher with a teammate, but then it was a bit like we
It's
just
quite-
thought like,
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say it's quite normal for like German people to watch a lot of like American TV programs and pick up
Yeah.
the language that way.
Yeah, but
Is
the
that what
thing
you
is-
did, or?
no, the thing is in Germany they translate all the movies. So this was
Oh,
funny for me as well. So some actors, I didn't even know that how they're speaking like the original like language, you know?
So they dub it. They dub the actors. They don't just
Yeah.
put subtitles. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is a bit like, because Germany they translate everything, so it's a bit different than, and I think in Holland, Netherlands they just have subtitles, so they watch the movies in their original language and then just have like some subtitles. So so this was different, and then obviously like the game is a different game. It's a bit more physical, as well, like the way the training sessions are. Obviously, I had like at the beginning a German coach, but still he was influenced as well, like from the fitness coaches. They've been already here in England, and they told him as well, like a few things you just have to do different, especially with the amount of games. So this was a change for me, and I think now for Dapo, I think it's a bit different. Obviously, you have as well like different days where you play. You don't have that many English weeks where you have like 3 games in a week. So I think probably like maybe it's a bit easier for him because at the beginning it's not that hectic and everything, but then the training sessions is as well a bit different. I don't know if they changed it now in Germany as well, like with the training times, but I was always used to train like 2 sessions in the week, like 3 o'clock. So at the same time you play at the weekend.
Oh, okay.
So this is as well a bit like something different, obviously. Then you have the whole morning, and then you a bit later at training, and then you a bit later home. So there are like a few different things, but yeah, I really enjoyed it when I came over, like to see something new and see a different culture.
Well,
Yeah, from a football perspective, though, you obviously want to play as many games as you can, don't you? I guess so. It's playing more games is definitely not a bad thing, is it? If you're coming over to England from Germany.
No, 100%. Obviously, we came, so then we had a few other German players as well, and you're just here, and then everything goes so fast, and obviously we've been lucky. We had like a really good time in this year, and everything went really smooth for me personally as well. So this makes everything as well a bit easier. I can imagine if it's not that easy. Yeah, if you don't have a good start, then you wish maybe there would be a bit more time between the games. But for me it was really well, and so far I really enjoy my time over here.
good.
Is that you saying so far because you might not be staying here? Is that what you're saying that for?
No. Obviously, no. Obviously, so right now I don't really know where we'll go. There's like a few options, but we're really early in the transfer window. I think the transfer window just opened up last week, so I know now bit how it will go. Will take a bit time to find as well the right place, and I just have to see now what's the right thing for me, my family.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
And I hope you answer this how I would answer it. But if you ended up in League One and you played against us, if you scored, would you celebrate?
Colin.
No, I don't think so. I think it's too soon to celebrate. Yeah. Obviously, I would be happy, but I think out of respect and my good time at Bolton, I wouldn't celebrate now.
Yeah. So that's a very.
We would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, with regards to like you moved to England, was it a culture shock at all, or was it, did you find?
Yeah, like I said, like a few things obviously as well, like the breakfast. Obviously, at the beginning when I came, and I saw like there's just like scrambled eggs, toast, and beans for breakfast and porridge. You don't know this from Germany. Like in Germany, you have like proper like I would say like proper bread and different kind of bread. Then you have like cheese, like salami, and it's just like a different breakfast, So this obviously was something different, but you get used to it. Like if you want to adapt to a new country, you have to try these things, and now I really love it. Always happy when I have my scrambled eggs on toast with some beans on the side.
Loves a tin of Heinz beans.
Heinz beans. Yeah. So really like it, and just like the other small things like training sessions, games, as well the stadiums. I really like the stadiums over here because like there's like a lot of, I would say like old-fashioned stadiums with a lot of tradition. I really like this as well, like the small stadiums, the supporters are really close, and the atmosphere as well different. Obviously, the fan culture is different in Germany. There you have like, I don't know how to explain it, but there in the games they're like singing the whole time and have like their songs, and it's like just a different atmosphere. And like in England, sometimes you can have as well maybe like 5 minutes where it's a bit more quiet, but then always when like situations going forward and you hear like all the seats going up and like you get like this excitement as well on the pitch. So totally something new, and really like it.
As a player, is that away game atmosphere as intense as it is as a fan? So obviously when you stood with just in one stand as away supporters, it's quite it can be quite an intense atmosphere. So do you pick up on that as a player?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, especially when you're young, you don't really realize, especially when you play just in the academy games and you just play at training grounds, you don't really realize how different sometimes different stadiums are. So guess as well here in England, there are like some stadiums, they're really tight and really small, and the atmosphere can be sometimes a bit more heated because like you have the supporters so close and they can shout whatever they want. So but I always liked it if it's as well like a small stadium with a lot of tradition there, and the people are quite close to the pitch because it makes everything a bit more exciting, and push you as well. And sometimes I like as well just like to engage with the people in the stands.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite away ground, Catcher? In obviously you're gonna have Premier League ones because you played in the Prem, didn't you? But like in League One, have you got a favourite away ground?
Obviously I think like last season, like when we played against Sunderland, I think Sunderland. I didn't play there before, so this was a really nice stadium obviously to play in as well. We had like good away support. Their support was packed as well, so I think this was a really good game there. Apart from this, I think like Sunderland is one of them. Stadium was standing out. Yeah,
impressive, isn't it?
So obviously you sort of enjoyed your time learning the English game and the changes that came with that. But how specifically, how was your time at Huddersfield? How did you get on there? Obviously that was your first move to England. It started with a loan and then that became permanent. How did you find Huddersfield? How was that time for you?
Oh, amazing. I can just positive things in Huddersfield. Like from the first day, the way the people around the club, just welcomed me with open arms. I think this was really good, especially when you come from a different country and everything is new for you. So this helped really, like, the people just around the club as well, like the staff and everyone was so good. And then obviously makes easier to settle in. And then the first year obviously especially was amazing how we played the season, have then promotion and Wembley is so traditional as well. Like in my first year in England, can play in Wembley and go straight to the Premier League was like a dream. Obviously, couldn't realize it as well, like at the beginning, and then the second year as well with playing in the Premier League, biggest league in the world, with small Huddersfield, and have there as well like amazing start straight away. I think like after the first game or second game we've been top of the league, so so this wasn't too bad, with a good start. And as well like the years after as well, obviously was then the second year was a bit more difficult in the league, wasn't that good, but if you look back, and sometimes in the situation you forget it a little bit, but if you look back, you've been with Huddersfield for 2 years in the Premier League, biggest league, with the smallest budget, and you could play against all these big teams. And I think there we achieved really something big. And it was a really good time to look back at.
Who was your most difficult opponent in the Prem? Can you think back? Defenders, obviously.
Most difficult, I think Man City or Liverpool, especially Liverpool as well to this time, was like on the rise up with their game. So there you could feel 100% the intensity as well, like when you play against these teams as well, like the way they press and everything, and the time on the ball is not that long, and you always have to think like 2-3 steps ahead, and then especially in these games as well, like you sometimes sit so deep because there's so much pressure from these players. But I really enjoyed it to play against these players. You can see as well sometimes where your level is and where their level is, and you can see the difference sometimes why they're maybe on this top level, and what you need sometimes to work on it to come close to this level. So it was really good experience for me personally, and to see this as well, because I think not everyone is making it sometimes this far to go to this level and see this week in and week out.
Did it help having a German manager at Huddersfield at the time?
100%. Because obviously at the beginning as well, you can speak a lot with the manager, and he can tell you as well like a lot of things about the system and how he wants to play. So this makes it much easier. I was lucky that the coach as well was already, I think, 6 months or 7 months before this at the club, and I was like constantly in contact before I came to Huddersfield to him, so he could explain me as well before that already about the system and everything. So this was making everything easier for me. And but then as well, like I think the group of German guys who came over was as well really good, because everyone was really open-minded, and wasn't scared to speak to the English boys, because sometimes I can probably understand as well, like for the English guys it wasn't easy if you have like, I think at the start we've been like 6-7 German guys coming in your club, and as well the gaffer is German and is changing so many things for the boys, because the gaffer tried as well to do the training, the 3 o'clock sessions and stuff, and it was for the German guys it was something normal, like we've been used to it. But if I would think now back, or like to do it now again, I would probably at the beginning as well really struggle with changing your whole routine and daily life to just like the training session at 3 o'clock, because the English boys at the beginning being sometimes obviously moaning because they're saying like always the sessions the whole day is finished. Some boys as well, like because I didn't know, living sometimes a bit more further away because I want to live at home. So these are just like different things as well. Like to Germany, there you used to live quite close to the training ground, and here in England, sometimes someone can live like an hour 15 away because you stay with your family. Because as well, like the distances are a bit different than in Germany. So, like I said, like a few different things, but.
Yeah. It's things as well, isn't it? Like obviously they might have kids, might they? And obviously they might want to get back after school and pick the kids up and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So they had to actually change the whole life to football, or like to different coach and mentality. But the good thing, obviously, we been like successful. So if you win games and like you have a really good run in the league, then everything's a bit easier, and probably you believe a little bit more as well into it. So but if I look back now, I can understand if a few boys had problems at the beginning.
So thinking about your obviously your time with us at Bolton, how did the move come around, and was it a difficult decision to join the team at Bolton?
Obviously, I knew Chris from Huddersfield. He worked there before. He was a video analyst. Always, been really good with him. So then he texted me, quite early after my contract was finished with Sheffield Wednesday.
So he slid into your DMs then, did he catch you?
No. He got my number from the old assistant, because they've been still in touch. So he slid into my WhatsApp, you could say. Asked me, or like I was to that time, I think, on vacation. So we just did like a Zoom meeting. He showed me everything about the club, the way they want to play. And I said, like, to that time, I still need a bit time, because it was quite early in the transfer window, and like there been like different offers. And after I think like 2 or 3 weeks, there been like different options, but nothing really was like where I said like, okay, should I do it, or like, because there've been as well like a few things abroad. And then I just called him again and said like, well, let me meet the gaffer, and then let me speak with him, and then we can see if we can do it or not, because I like to stay as well like in this area. Liked always this area. So just let's meet and see what happened. Then meet the gaffer, had a really good talk. He showed me the stadium and the training ground after. Liked it, and then was more or less like with my family decided to just do this, to go in League One, go to Bolton, a big club who's on the rise again, to go up. And it was a more or less like a decision against like maybe more money abroad, and decision for just like helping a club, and have there like a different or could I say like journey, or like different experience again, to try something new.
I'm trying to think back, Catcher. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. Did you play against us before you joined us?
No, I was actually injured, but I think it was a cup game when we played it with Huddersfield, and I was injured, and I watched the game actually from the stand. So I just realized, to be fair, when I came to the stadium, that I already been here. So I thought like, I already been here, watched the game, but I was just injured, but I watched the game here. So
deja vu.
No, was it deja vu? Yeah.
Are you before you join a club like Bolton and Huddersfield as well, to an extent? Obviously they're an old football club themselves. Are you kind of aware of the history of the clubs before you join them, or do you kind of do your research afterwards? Did you research at all, obviously?
Did obviously quite my research. Obviously looked up, and Huddersfield was a bit more, because obviously the gaffer was the whole time with me in contact, so you could see a little bit more. But then as well about Bolton, Chris was telling me a lot of things, how the club is now operating, and why they end up in the lower leagues, and what just their plans are. And obviously, if I knew Bolton, like the name obviously tells you something, like back in the days with Okocha and all these big players, about Bolton. But then it was just like a freshen up. Obviously, then you see the stadium and, okay, this is a club who normally belongs with the stadium a few leagues higher.
Because you're of African descent, so JJ is right above Chris's left shoulder.
Yeah.
You'll obviously, as an African boy, I'm sure you would have obviously known all about JJ, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. So the way he played, everyone knew about him. I think he played obviously in Germany as well, so I could see him there as well. But no, Bolton, like back in the days, a massive club, and hopefully the club goes back to these glorious days.
Fingers crossed.
Are we going to some viewers' questions now, Ben? Yeah. So
we've got some questions from the viewers that we thought we'd ask as well. So over on our Twitter, people have been sending in their requests to ask you and things, obviously in the live chat that we'll pick up on. Feel free to take those away.
So really open-ended question, but a good one. Your best memory of your time at Bolton?
Yeah, obviously, I think like Wembley, I think it's like a big thing. The whole day that we won the game as well. I think just like the whole experience there, Wembley again, winning a game, score a goal as well, like in front of the home supporters. I think couldn't get better.
The timing of your goal as well, Catcher. That was
as well. The timing, like to be fair, like in the game, I didn't really realize that it was that quick after the halftime.
Really
I still was on the concourse. I hadn't even got back to my seat yet.
I didn't even realize.
This is a common thing with Angela Catcher.
Always
going for the drinks. Nah, like in the game, I didn't even realize that it was that quick. So when I watched the game back a few days after, then I just realized how quick the goal was after halftime. And
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go off script here. I've got to ask you. What was going through your mind? So obviously it was a misdirected throw in. It broke to you. Clean run on goal, and you've got that expectation. You've got 34,000 Bolton fans behind that goal.
Yeah.
What goes through your head? Be honest as you want. What goes through your head at that moment in time?
I don't know if it's for everyone, but for me, it's like it's more like instinct. Obviously, there I was more concentrating like to get my first 3 touches right, because obviously the ball was a bit like in the air, a bit bubbly. So I was just like trying to get like the right control, and then at the end it was just like for me to find the right time to shoot on goal and to get it in the corner. And after I just saw the ball went in. Obviously like crazy in front of the supporters, seeing everyone in front of you, and unbelievable. I think really lucky to have this moment.
Thank you.
Everything you work towards when it Catcher as a footballer, I would imagine, like all the years of training and the driving everywhere, and them moments are exactly what you crave, I guess.
100% as well. Like everyone knew before that it was maybe a bit like a sticky situation for me, where I was getting maybe a bit stick from a few people around the club. But I think then this moment, and then as well, like especially the goal against Aki in the semi-final, I think these are moments where you work for, and as well like where you dream of as well. Like sometimes when it doesn't work that well in a situation, to come out on top again. And I worked really hard to come to that moment. And then as well the Wembley goal. Obviously after I went then to the stands because my family was there. And these are the moments where you live for. My family is always behind me, especially in these hard times, and to give them as well like this joy, makes me every day happy.
Love it. Great answer.
So it kind of sums football up, that though, doesn't it? How you can go through like ups and downs and then come out on the other end and
yeah, 100%. Obviously, everyone got like his own like view on players, how they should play, and everyone likes some players more or less. You see it even at top level. Like there have been like even some people saying like bad things about Haaland when he didn't score straight away that much, or like he scored but he wasn't involved that much in the game. And and there's like sometimes where you think like, okay, how is it possible that even people like speaking bad about Haaland if he's scoring goals and goals, and they're saying like he doesn't fit into the system of Man City. So yeah, but the situations are sometimes as well not easy, obviously, if but as a footballer, unfortunately, you have to go through this. But yeah, if you come out at the other end, you learn a lot.
Unfortunately, you have to go through them situations, but fortunately, you're in a position where you can rectify it and put people to prove people wrong.
100%. Obviously, I don't regret it to go through, because it was making me again stronger as a person. You see as well like which people around you staying behind you as well in these situations.
I know who your friends are.
Yeah, you know who your friends are, and as well like who's supporting you in that moment. So no, this was really good.
Not to blow my own trumpet, Catcher, but you can, if you ever want to, you can watch back some of our podcasts, and I was sticking up every single week.
Yeah, well done.
Feel free to go back and watch them. Just not to blow my own trumpet. But
yeah, really good. Now, obviously, I was getting as well like, I think I posted as well something where I said I was getting so many positive messages as well, like long messages, where I couldn't even like reply to all of them.
No.
But I tried to reply to a few, to just say like how much it was meaning to me, because I could really see like how people putting effort in to text me and to send me a nice message and tell me all these good things. So this was helping me 100% as well.
I suppose that as a footballer, you'll obviously have a support network behind you that helps you get through those patches, but obviously the fans will as well. But in terms of sort of the group as a whole at Bolton, how did they sort of rally around you? And from your time there, do you think you've picked up any sort of friends for life? That one was sent in by Abid and Leslie. It's a great question. It leads on quite nicely. Do you reckon you have any friends for life?
I'd like fully support from the team always. And as well, like when I left now, I was getting such nice messages where I didn't even thought that I was getting like this many messages from boys, where they even said to me like they've been learning a lot from me and always liked the way I've been to them, always straightforward and real. And this is why I always try to be like real and straightforward and yeah, just a nice person and trying to help you. It doesn't matter if you play on my position or not. I'm trying to help everyone in the team to get better. And so this was making me really happy. And then in the team, there's like a few boys. I just been like on vacation with Kieran Sattler and his missus. We just met them on vacation and been a few days with them. But before that, Reeks, so Ricardo or Baka, I've been like a lot with them. But then as well, like I went sometimes for drinks with Gav, MJ. So there've been like so many dams. I could tell you so many guys where I just did something as well outside football with them, and been like sometimes messaging still with them. So there've been a few boys who have been still in contact and still supporting them as well, like for the next season. Then hope that they have a good season.
Did Sadly want you with him to look after his little kid, because he's had a little kid, and we doing all the babysitting duties and stuff.
Yeah, so I had to do a little bit babysitting, getting used already to have a baby. So,
really?
Yeah. Obviously it was a good time with them. With the little one. It's nice to see little family and was a good time.
Yeah, you were working hard over there. I noticed you were doing a lot of training, a lot of I guess close season fitness work.
I had like 2 weeks where I was just like went back as well to Germany to see my family. And then obviously for me it's every year the same. I go on vacation, but trying to stay fit and just to do something on the side as well, like to don't lose too much and to just stay in the flow.
Yeah, you can relax and drink this stuff when you retire, can't you?
That's true.
So going back to the viewers' questions, one here from Brandon. I think you've touched on it before where you comment about Sunderland, but sort of summarising your career at Bolton, is there a sort of standout kind of away following? So an away game that we played where the fans, it was just that there was just something special about it. Obviously, Wembley will spring to mind, but is there any other games that you can think of that where it was really special for you in terms of the Bolton away support?
There's so many. Obviously, we had I think over the 2 years, such a great support. I think nearly every away game was sold out. So there've been so many good games. I couldn't even tell you now one in particular because there've been so many great away days where we had and such a great support. So it's hard to pick one.
I think the reason why that question gets asked, Catcher, because obviously as football fans, especially one of a club of our stature, we kind of pride ourselves on, good away following. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's obviously why that question gets asked.
No, I can't even because I think like I said, nearly every game was sold out always, and we had such a great support. Even some games when we even lost the game, so we had such a great support from you guys. So
you can ask Chris about the away season ticket.
Yeah.
No, probably best not.
Chris gets his tickets early because he's got an away season ticket.
Yeah. The rest of us are
okay.
It's a bit of an in-joke. You're in on the joke now, Catcher. So, when I go to my grave, I know that I can always have that to look back on and say, you know what? He was in on the joke.
But how is it, to be fair for support, is it sometimes as well nicer to have a away game because I don't know, sometimes I have the feeling away it's bouncing sometimes maybe as well a bit more than home.
I think it's at home it's I don't know, you compare it to a comfy pair of slippers. You used to it. It's familiar surroundings.
You've got your seat.
You've got your little place and your little routine and what have you. But when you go away, obviously it's a new environment. The kind of the emphasis is on the away supporters to really lift you guys and get behind you, make more noise, be a bit more vocal and what have you. And it makes for a better atmosphere. Personally speaking, I really do prefer away games because it's maybe 2 days of an adventure and with the game obviously in the middle of it. And I find it a lot more enjoyable going to away games.
Yeah,
you tend to. You tend to have obviously more nerves as well, Catcher, as an away fan going away from home. There's a little bit less expectation on your way from home than there is at home, you see. So naturally, that kind of riles you a little bit to be more vocal, if that makes sense.
You also drink. You also drink more.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It all goes hand in hand.
8 o'clock.
So what was the best away game for you guys?
Well, I'm
turning around. So
it's difficult for me. It's a bit difficult to answer that, Catcher, because I'm lucky enough to be of an age where I've travelled the whole country watching Bolton in the Premier League and Europe and all types. So it's hard. But personally, my favourite away game was Sheffield Wednesday Hillsborough. Because it's an old stadium, but has that feel. But it's a big stadium and it covers enjoyables and away fan. So that's mine, but
all right, guys.
Ange next.
You put the question on me. The hard questions. No.
We're under pressure here. Ange, you're next. I'm putting this off.
It's tricky because we love Linz, don't we? So I mean, I really. So the first half of Aki away in the Papa John's was was dull. It was there was no atmosphere. It was terrible. We were all nervous, I think, and then just the limbs when you scored. It was like I loved that. I just love limbs. I do.
It was like
especially obviously Aki is as well like special situation with they're putting like the away fans on like all on one side, and they half of the stadium is literally Bolton supporters.
It was like those TikTok videos where they get a bottle of Coca-Cola and they pour Mentos in the top of it. That's what it was like in their hands, wasn't it? It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's always difficult as well, Katja, when you go to a stadium that's not got a roof because the atmosphere.
The sound just travels out, and it.
Yeah, it's
go on,
true.
Ben. Do you want to go next?
For me,
Ben doesn't get to go to many because his missus don't let him. So you have to.
You have to get that in there, didn't you? You have to get that in there.
Aside from Wembley as sort of the obvious one for me, Derby away this season, even though we lost, the atmosphere.
Derby,
it was mental. I loved it. It was such a
good true.
That for me is a standout. Because I mean, I've been and watched Bolton away, and that's a great feeling. But to still have that great feeling after your team's lost, but still put in a shift, and the fans were all there for the same thing. That for me takes.
True. Derby was good as well because I think like the Bolton supporters and the Derby supporters been like engaging each other. So
really
it was
close,
like,
isn't it?
So it was really close, and like both sides been really like singing really loud as well. Like But Derby was really good.
It's what we consider as like two proper football clubs. Do you get what I mean? Like two big clubs going at it type of thing. That's why that kind of happens, really, Katja.
Yeah.
A couple of people in the chat have put Peterborough away.
Well, it's mine. Oh, hang on a minute. You're stealing my thunder. This is mine. And I'm seeing the comments coming down, and I think it was like I think somebody mentioned that Marty mentions in the chat that it was unexpected. So this is the away game at Peterborough where we won obviously a pivotal, massive game for the club in terms of our history, and we won 5-0. It was a full away end. It wasn't expected. Peterborough obviously finished the season in the playoffs as we did, so we were vying for position with each other all the way through. So to go away, and it was just such a complete performance, team, fans, everything was just right. Everything just lined up, and it just really proved what we've achieved as a team when it all comes together. And to beat a team like that 5-0 at home, and the fans were amazing, as obviously as the team was. Great day for me.
You must have you must have given Rico a bit of banter after him scoring 2 goals. Like
he was like, for a couple of weeks on fire. Like every corner he was touching the ball. So he had a good period there.
So going back to players as opposed to fans, is there somebody in the dressing room who's that kind of cheerleader and that morale booster? Is there someone who picks you all up if you're a bit down or if you go in losing?
Obviously, I was probably one of them.
That's concerning, the fact that you've left.
Nobody has to do it anymore.
Obviously, Dan came a bit later to us, but he was already really bubbly and was always like funny to listen to this guy.
He looks like a really bouncy guy. He looks like a do you know like puppies when the
Dan.
Dan. Pardon me. Yeah.
So he was always really funny. Obviously, Baka left. He was as well one of them guys always. I think these are like the main
dressing room is dead now.
There's like some other guys that will step up now for us.
What's Rico like as a captain catcher? Obviously, he's not. He doesn't come across as the most vocal. Is he? Or
No. In the team, he's quite vocal. Probably like at the beginning, obviously, it's like as well. Like for him, it was something new. To be the captain as well. I came like a bit like quick and as a surprise at the beginning, maybe with the whole situation before.
Yeah.
But
no comment. No comment.
yeah, yeah. So
That's that one.
yeah, but no, I think like he did now over the 2 years really well. I think you could see as well like his progress and how he handled things, and yeah, how he developed into this captain of Bolton. And I think he's doing really good job. His performance obviously on the pitches as well really good, and no, he's keeping everyone really good together.
Yeah, it's impressive. Dress sense, Catcher. We've had a question about dress sense. Who's the worst? Be honest. But you've left. It don't matter now. You've left, so you can.
No, I think for myself, I would say like I have a quite good dressing sense. I think Trev was sometimes questionable, I would say. I think he's still a young boy who is trying to find his style. This was sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Traff will look back in like 10 years when he's playing for City and think, "What the hell were I wearing?"
Yeah, 100%. I think like he will understand in a few years and say like, okay, maybe this was not the best combination. I think Trev was up there. Maybe Jon sometimes questionable.
Jon.
What's the new one?
But I think that's it. Like I
Is
think like Trev.
That's a German Scandinavian beef you've got going on there with Jon.
No. Jon, no. Jon, really lovely guy, guy, but not everyone can have the best dressing sense.
The next question was mine from a viewer, but I'm not entirely certain about how appropriate it is. So I'm gonna flip it a little bit, and there was something I wanted to ask you about from last season. And for me, it was one of the, I don't know, I think it was a really, really sort of pivotal moment of the season, and it was really quite emotional. And that was after the Papa John semi-final at Accrington. There was a video on social media of Ian Evatt speaking to you. He touched on obviously some challenges that you'd faced personally and how important you were that night and how important it was to you to sort of get through that bad time. So it was really to ask about that, because it was clearly a very personal moment, how the gaffer dealt with situations like that and how you felt at that time in terms of obviously some of the challenges which were going on in your life before the game and for a little while by all accounts.
Yeah, about the situation, everyone knew what happened in one game. But yeah, like obviously my family is in Germany. I'm really close to them to that time. My parents didn't really well, and I didn't really had time to go there. They didn't really wanted me as well, like to worry too much. But yeah, if you're really close to your parents and you know them, you can feel that they're right now not that well. And yeah, then obviously to that time maybe I was sometimes as well not 100% happy as well, like how I was playing, and they're like different things like what come them together. And unfortunately that day was then a little bit too much. The guy came really under my skin. Unfortunately had not too much help as well, like from the referee before, but that's not an excuse. Was not the best situation obviously for me, but yeah, these are things sometimes what happen in life. After this, I had the time to take a bit off, see my parents, was making sure that they are good, and came then as well like with a fresh mind, because obviously you have conversations as well with your parents. They're in Germany. They're seeing then what happened, and obviously, yeah, there can be as well like some tears can
Yeah,
come
of
out as
course.
well. Like if you speak to your parents and they ask you what happened, this is not you. Like we don't know you like this. You never did something like this in your whole career. You been like had like guys like this before who try and like to go under the skin, but you never reacted like this. And, yeah, it was open conversation with my parents. Then obviously my missus as well. Yeah, who's obviously like said if you read all the stuff on social media about your man, and obviously it's not nice, but yeah, this is part of life. I had to work really hard. Was lucky that I had as well like a team where I had like a lot of support because they know this not me as well. Like after the game, I straight away apologize, obviously halftime, but as well like after the game, obviously was making sure that in that game, because I was still on the pitch, like to give everything for the team to keep the result that we win. So was happy then that we obviously won. Dion reacted as well really well because he knew that on the pitch I was making the referee aware that it was a different way how it should go. So yeah, and then all these things come together, and then to work really hard. Then after I was suspended, then luckily to get this game then as well, like in the cup, was obviously as well like probably a bit lucky that some other guys couldn't play this game. But I trained really well the week before. Was happy to get the trust from the gaffer and as well like from my teammates because they know how hard I work and how much I always give for this team. So to give them in that moment something back. With such important goal for this club to go back to Wembley to have this day and the chance to win something, obviously couldn't get better. And yeah, these are things what just make you stronger in life.
And after that really lovely insight into what happened in those few weeks.
And you, sorry, Katch, you didn't have to. You didn't have to.
No,
go.
you've just blown me away there. Thank you for answering that so openly. That's brilliant. Thank you. You didn't have to.
Obviously, to that time was like not easy to speak about it, and obviously not the easiest period. But now we're over it. I think like it's nice as well, like sometimes to open up to speak about it because for me it's as well not always easy to speak about these things. When it's like quite personally,
as a supporter, it's often really, really easy to lose sight of the fact that, you know, a lot of supporters are very much, you're there to entertain me, and that's it. They don't see that you know, there's emotion.
Yeah, but this is why I sometimes like as well, like to engage a lot with like supporters, even if it's before the game or after the game. Like sometimes if they come nice over and ask me questions, then I give them a nice question or give them an answer or like stay a little bit longer to speak to people, because I think sometimes important that as well like the supporters realize that we are just humans as well, and we have the same feelings. So there was a time where I saw a few comments and I normally would be happy like just to text them back and say like, hey, let's meet up or like let's have a talk, and then we can talk about it, like what's going on in my life but what's going on in your life as well. Like I wouldn't say these things to you when I knew something is wrong, and doesn't matter in your work life as well, you know. So I think this is why it's nice to speak about it as well.
What you've probably done there, Katchu, without maybe even realizing it, is in the future if that happens again within our fan base, because you've been so open and transparent, it might make people get the phone and go, you know what, I might not actually send that now.
It raises awareness, doesn't it?
Exactly. Because like obviously everyone got like his view on things, and like I said, like how someone played, so it's fair enough to say a few things, but if it stays like professional and stays about the game, and sometimes I think it's going like a bit in the nasty region where it's like I don't think you have to say these things, or like the way you're saying it as well, like online, you know. And yeah, like funny thing is like there have been so many comments, but negative comments, I would say, but you don't see any of them like when I go like shopping or being in Bolton and
no, because
around,
it's
you
so
know,
easy to do.
you know, like it's, you know, like, and
so,
but obviously this was a good thing as well, because I went out, like obviously just normal life, everyone can meet me outside, and so many
Green.
yeah exactly. And
we know.
yeah, and there've been like so many positive people, so saying like, hey, we are not one of them, and this, you know, you're amazing, and just like how you've been as a human. And obviously
there are a very small percentage of people who shout very loud, and I think that's
no,
that's
but
the thing.
it was so nice then to see them people as well, like in the street, and just have a small talk to them, or like if they just ask for a picture, and they're so grateful for this, you know. This was helping me 100% as well, so it was really nice to give them people especially as well something back, or you guys, you know, like who support me through this time, and to give them then this nice day in Wembley.
They're memories that last for a lifetime.
I'm just gonna yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna echo really what Colin and Ange said. They are absolutely in the minority, and we really appreciate you talking so openly about what must have been a really difficult time. It's really appreciated. It's not often you get that, and it just gives us an insight into what sort of a character you are, and that's really, really appreciated.
I think the fact that you're Ian O'Catcher with us is testament to that as well, really, because obviously we weren't expecting you to be, you know, you give us an hour of your time. Do you get what I mean? So obviously, greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Oh, it's no problem.
And in terms of memories, I've got a little picture to show you. You created this. That's my 2-year-old little boy at Wembley. So
nice.
Watching you just after you scored. So like that's exactly what you did at Accrington.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. Obviously, this is what you play for, to give people nice memories where they can look back and say like what the day that was, and happy to give everyone this day out.
So it's like just bringing it back to fans' questions. Sorry, after that lovely heartfelt.
No disrespect to the fans, but how can you follow that? Wow.
After that absolutely lovely kind of moment we just shared with you, Daniel would like to know who has the worst haircut in the team.
Worst haircut.
And you're not allowed to say John Daddy Bob Varson, because
he got always this nice slick hair back. So worst haircut. It's hard to say. I don't know. It's maybe not the worst haircut, but I think like Kieran he was not really bothered about his hair, so I think he had like maybe a haircut every 3 months because he wasn't bothered. So but Kieran he was like what a guy he was as well. Kieran Lee, what a player as well. Like was really enjoyable to play with him. Yeah.
So I'm
really quiet.
On the subject of haircuts, Catcher, if you were to leave, I know a little secret that you go to Pure Silk.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son goes. He's seen you from time to time. What are you going to do about Reeds?
Hard. So obviously I'm still here. So actually I go there tomorrow. So
makes sense now.
Yeah. So so maybe I stay here in this area. You never know where I end up next. So then I still can go
make
to.
Sure you don't join Wigan. Whatever you do.
No.
Don't do it to
I think they have other problems right now.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's probably worth skipping to the question from Wheat, I reckon. Ben, what do you think, pal?
Yes, of course. We've got, so at the end of every guest episode, what we do is we get the previous guest to ask the next guest a question. So last time, you're in good company. We had David Wheater on the last podcast, and he's left a question for you. Now, I wouldn't be expecting anything else from a Mr. David Wheater, but he's asked you, if you've ever been out in Bolton, what is your favourite pub or club?
Wow, this is a good question. To be fair, when obviously after we won the cup, so we came back to Bolton and then we went to a few bars, but I don't even know all the names where we went. But there been like a few good bars, to be fair. We went and I think how many players we been, like 8 players or something,
and
went
centre?
out. We went out in the town centre. Yeah.
Trev and Connor was there, it'll have been definitely maybe because they were always
Trev, Connor
like
was
an
there.
indie bar.
Rico was there. So we've been, I think, like in 2 bars or something. So no, it was really good as well, like to see all the supporters there, just in between them, and just like have some drinks after the win. So I think like it was nice because I don't think everyone is like doing this, just like going in the town center and just like have some drinks there with some supporters. So this was a really good time.
Fantastic. And obviously Wita left you a question, so it's only fair that we ask you the same. So if you could ask, we don't know who the next guest could be, but if you could ask a question to anyone that's sort of in the football business,
so
what would you ask them?
If it's a player, you could ask him, what was the best advice or from who in football? Like
good question.
What he gave to him and what helped him in his career or like in life.
That's good.
That's an excellent question.
Really good question. You should do a podcast.
Maybe you have to start now.
Yeah, if you're struggling to get a team catcher, you can always stick with us here, mate. There's a space.
Maybe you have to join in here.
Always welcome.
Really.
Welcome here.
Thank you.
And just before we wrap up, we've got a special mention, and we were hoping that you could do our special mention. So if you could give a shout out to a little lad called Charlie. So Charlie plays football, and he won Best Defender at his end of season awards for the Winwick Wildcats. So if you could just give him a little shout out, that'd be great.
Hey Charlie, hope you're good. Hope you enjoy this episode here of this podcast, and well done to you win of Best Defender. Keep going and put some slide tickets more in there.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much. As always, we really, really appreciate you coming on and giving us some of your time.
No problem at all.
Obviously, for us, close season is probably quite empty. We've not got much on, but for you, it's this is important to keep going and keep fit. So we really appreciate you taking some time out for us.
Yeah, no problem.
More importantly,
we enjoyed it.
Best of luck with your future.
Thank you very much.
Mate.
Thank you very much. I will keep following Bolton for sure. Obviously the boys, and hopefully the club have an amazing season next season and can make it in the next season.
Absolutely. That is the spirit. Thank you very much for everyone for joining us. We do appreciate it. And that's all for now, but we'll catch you in the next one and we'll see you all shortly.
Thank you. Bye-bye.